Okay, so like usual, like we start every session, a little bit recap about what we discussed before and what's the plan for today. So we discussed so far several important financial textual data in the class. We talk about the 10K. For about 10K annual report, we talk about several items. We'll talk about item 1, about the product description, item 1A, risk disclosure, item 7, managers free discussion about forward-looking information. We also spend a lot of time about AK. AK, you guys can see, is very complicated, right? It contains a lot of material information. The material contract is contained in item 1.01. And earnings announcement is in item 2.02, and the other important firm news is in item 7.01 and 8.01. So these are all important data source you guys should understand and remember. And like I repeated earlier, you guys should master several perspectives in the discussion in the lecture. First one is understand the nature of the data. What's exactly item 1.01 in the AK? What's exactly item 7.01 in the AK material news? You should understand the structure. You can see the last class when you guys when I show you the lot of item 7.01. They just briefly talk about the event and then refer to the exhibit. So if you want to see the details of the event, you should go to the exhibit to find what exactly happening, what's the details about the events. And I also show you the contract in the item in the AK, the item 1.01 in the loan contract. And in the loan contract information, you can see that the firm just give very brief information about the loan contract in the item 1.01 in AK. The details, they said, see details in exhibit. And if you pull out the exhibit, it's a full contract. It's a detailed contract of the loan contract. So all these, you guys should understand several things in the lecture. First is what data you should use. We covered AK, 10K, different items. You guys should be good with that. And second is, what's the structure of the data? The reason you know the structure of the data is you can use the data to analyze, to help investors, manage, make decisions. So for example, you know that the detailed information is actually in exhibit. So if you know that when you do the textual analysis, you know you first go to item 1.01, you get the summary of the contract, and then you go to the exact exhibit to get the details of the contract. So that's how you understand the structure of the data. So that's one thing you guys should be aware of. The third thing is, what's the data for? You use data for help investors. How? In what way? You help managers. In what way? This is, I keep emphasizing that. You need to convert the data to real application of finance and accounting demand. You have to use the data to help investors. You use the data to help managers. I'm keeping emphasizing that because it's important. Even in a world of big data, I give you so much data. You need to know how to use it for what questions. That's why I want you guys to have a project using the data and the techniques we discussed in the class. So in summary, for all the data we talk about, we need to have 3 objectives, including today's social media data. For today's social media data, we need to have three objectives. The first objective is understand the nature and the structure of the data. Like today, understand the nature of the structure of social media. That's objective 1. Objective 2, use the data. What for? Use the data for what questions? Help whom? Help which decision? You have to use the data to answer a specific questions that is meaningful. We'll talk about that today, okay? We'll talk about today, use the data. The third is the techniques, like what techniques we will use to analyze the data. And the next class, that's what you guys will see. Watch the video. The video will tell you on the social, on what the textual tools you can use to analyze this data. So every data set, every topics, we cover the 3 objectives. So what's the data about? What's the structure and the nature of the data? That's the number one objective. The number two objective is use the data for what questions? Yeah, the third question is the techniques, which you guys will see the video. So let's see the tutor. Some of you may wonder, why is tutor financial data? Tutor is what? It's for fun, right? It's something. Why is tutor related to our business world? Why the business related to finance and accounting? If you can see that on the tutor, you can find two types of information. One is firm level data. So the information about the firm, about the CEO. And another information you can find is individual data. On the tutor, you can find the information about investors' discussion about the firm. You can find consumers' discussion about the product. So you can find all this information on the tutor. So let's see the example here. Okay, let's see the example here. So what's the example about? The example is about the great Globescape. Globescape is a distributive storage company. What does that mean? The distributive storage company is someone like Dropbox, or I can say Baidu Cloud. So this is kind of a cloud storage company. So you can. So it's like Dropbox. Okay, I don't have to explain too much about Dropbox. You guys should be familiar with Dropbox. So what's the data about? So data is the global space, the global scape. The company discussed something about the Dropbox product failure. So this is something. So this is a very good example. What information you can find? You can find several examples. You can find Globescape care about Dropbox product information, and you can also find Dropbox product has some problem. So that's why I'm saying the tutor is not completely a place for fun. Tutor has a lot of information for the firm. So here you can find on tutor, what you can find is the information about the Dropbox product quality, and then you can also find the Globescape care about the Dropbox, their competitors' product quality. This is about the example you can see. That's why the tutor has a lot of business information. So let's look at the details. In the example, what do you see here? What you can find is you can see that this is a Globescape. Globescape at Globescape. That means Globescape tweet these tweets. That's Globescape post these tweets, and then you can see that the information is about Dropbox and the box. It's about their product security issues, and then so on these tweets, what you can find is you can find which company actually post the tweet. That's the information you can crawl online, and also you can find about the tweets. The tweets is about what information. The tweets about which company. The tweets about the Dropbox here, and you can also see the content of the tweets. You can also see the content of the tweets, and you can see the link of the news, link of the information about the product. So this is something, like I said, the structure you should understand. When you process this data by yourself, you should be able to how to get which company posted. You can easily see. You can easily get at the company name. This is the pattern, right? If you extract at the company name, that's the posting company. That's the tweeting company. And you can also get what's the company's tweets about. You can see the title. Normally title has that information, and also in the tweets, you also has that information. And the reason I explain the example is when you pass in the data, like you guys passed the conference call, you should be able to pass out the tweeting company name. You can be able to pass the Globescape company name. You should be able to pass out. This is about Dropbox box product. You should be able to pass out the product comments. You should be able to pass out when you do the textual analysis on the data. And the tutor has very important stuff. And here, This is a like, this is a comments, this is a reply. You can, this is a forward. You can also calculate what's how many people like this tweet, right? You can also calculate how many people comment on these tweets. You can get the contents of comments. You can also see how many people reply to the tweets, and you can also see how many people forward the tweets to their friends. So you can see that on the tweets, it's different from the it's a little bit different from the 8K, 10K, and the conference call you guys have processed. On the social media, you can see the interaction. You can see the you can leave comments for the news. You can leave you can like it. You can click like for the tweets. You can also there's no dislike, right? There's no dislike. Yeah, let's just like. You can like the tweets, and you can forward the tweets to other friends. So you can see that the structure of the social media, it's slightly different from what we talk about 8K, 10K, but you see the passing part is similar. How you pass out the name of global scape, that part is very similar. We use a regular expression to do that, right? So and also how to pass the name of the job box and how to pass out the content. These are very similar when you when you pass out this tweet news. But at the same time, you should be pay attention to there's an interaction on the social media about comments, like, and on the reply. So this is about the firm level news, firm level. So what I'm saying is Twitter is not just a place for fun. You can find a lot of business information about the firm. Here, you can find information about the job box. You can find information about global scape, care about job box. You can find all this information, right? And how exactly you can use this information to analyze that for investors. How exactly you use the information to analyze for managers. This is what we are going to discuss, the example we're going to discuss today. Like I said, it's 3 objectives. What's the data? What's the structure of the data? Now you know the structure of the data. Now you know that. And then later on, we'll talk about how to use the data to help investors' decision, to help managers' decision. That's what we are talking about. And the third is what's the techniques, and this one is just a textual analysis. We will do that. Okay, so we have a firm level data here. It's about Twitter and global scape. You can also find the CEO data. CEO, you know, CEO post a lot of tweets. If you can check Tim Cook, Apple CEO. Apple CEO. You know, he posts a lot of information on tweets. So about the product, about his political opinions, about everything. So basically, you can find the firm information on tweets. It's about CEO information on tweets. This is the information you can find on the social media, on the Twitter. So this is about firm level data. You can also find individual level data. What do I mean by individual level data? So everything I talk about so far is about the firm. It's about the CEO. CEO. You can say it's individual, but CEO represents the firm. So and also a lot of CEOs, the tweets is not decided by CEO. CEO's tweets is actually processed by the team, by the corporate team. So everything I talk about so far is about a firm. It's about organization. That's what I was talking about. So what's the individual level data? Individual level data is about you. When you post a tweet on Twitter, that information, it's about you. It's not about organization. It's about a firm. So the tweets you posted on Twitter, that's individual data. The tweets I posted on Twitter doesn't represent my school, just represent myself. Then that's individual data. So for individual data, what you can find investors' perception and discussion about the firm. You can find investors' discussion about the future economics. You can find the investors' discussion about a lot of things. You can also find consumers' discussion about a product. Consumers' complaints about a product. If you guys don't like some job box functions, you can complain about the job box as well. So Overall, what you can find on the Twitter, you can find two types of information. You can find information about organization, about the Dropbox product, about the Globescape care about the Dropbox. You can find this is organizational information. You can find individual level data like your post on Twitter, my post on Twitter. The individual data, what you can use is you can get investors' opinions on everything. Investor opinions on the firm, on the stock market, on the future economics. Even maybe you can find investor opinions about this class, right? You say, oh, they like this class, they like this texture analysis class. So you can also find consumers' opinions, consumer opinions on product, on everything, right? On everything. So you can find individual opinions on a lot of stuff, on Twitter. And the individual includes a lot of people. Individual includes investors. Individual includes you. Individual includes me. Individual includes consumers. So these are all data available on Twitter. One is on organizational level. Another one is on the individual level. So you can find a lot of information about the firm, about the individual's opinions on the firm, on everything. So this is about Twitter. There's other stuff I want you guys to be aware of, which is we have a stock tweets, we have LinkedIn, we have Kickstarts, we have different social media. And so what is stock tweets? Stock tweets, it's a website, it's a social media. Investors can discuss their perception of a certain firms. So I found some similar website. I found similar website, site like a Snowball, similar to similar to Snowball website. Snowball is a version that's a big similar to stock tweets, operates in China. In Chinese called 雪球网. And so what's this? What's the stock tweets and Snowball about? It's about for any particular firm. For example, Dropbox. Investors can talk about, oh, Dropbox is doing well this quarter, the earnings is going up, but the cash flow is down. So the investors can talk about everything they feel comfortable and uncomfortable and surprised about the firm regarding a particular firm. So here, what you can do is you can crawl a lot of information about any individual's opinion or perceptions about a particular firm. And there's several reference you can see. If you're interested, you can see a lot of reference here. And so it's but the difference between the Twitter and the stock tweets is Twitter can be everything, right? Twitter can talk about the firm. Twitter also talk about the political opinions. Twitter can talk about product. Twitter can also talk about life, traveling. Twitter is about the life, it's about business, it's about everything. It has organizational level information, also has the individual opinion. So, but stock tweets, it's more specialized. It's specialized on investment. Which firm we should invest, which firm we should go buy, which firm should sell. So comparing to Twitter, stock tweets specialize more on the investment of a particular company, of ideas of the company. So, and also stock tweets is about individual. It's about individual's opinion and discussion about the firm. It's not about organization. It's about firm does not discuss on the stock tweets. So you can see the two difference between the Twitter. Tweets is about the traveling life, about product, about everything. The stock tweets is only about the investment. It's about investment opinions. That's what first difference. Second difference is it mostly is individual level opinion. It doesn't have organizational. This is the first social media. You guys should be able to understand the data structure and how to use the data. So for example, in the JF paper, the team use the stock tweets data to analyze why different people have different opinions about the firm. So for example, I believe Google should be buy, and we have Duan said the Google should be sell. So why me and the Duan have different opinion about the firm? So in that project, they trying to use my comments and use Duan's comments, and by analyzing my comments and Duan's comments, we can conclude why for the same Google, I think it's buy, Duan think it's sell. They're trying to understand what's the reason drives investors different opinions on a same firm. So why I think Google is a buy, Duan is a sell. By analyzing my stock tweets comments and by analyzing Duan's stock tweets comments, we can understand why we have different opinions. That's about JF paper. And the Carl paper is also it's about how I understand a firm's earnings announcement. So let's say Google announced their quarters. How do I understand the Google's quarter earnings announcement about that quarter? Do I like it? Do I don't like it? What information I pay attention to? So another project to analyze how individual investors understand the announcement of the news about announcement of the earnings announcement about news. So you can use the data to do a lot of stuff. Including use the data to analyze why people have different opinions about same firm. You can analyze how investors understand the firm earnings announcement. So these are the examples how you could stock tweets. And also LinkedIn, what information you have to LinkedIn? LinkedIn is about everyone's background. It's also individual data. So for example, if you check my LinkedIn, you can find what? You can find my educational background, you can find my skills, you can find my working experience. Same. What you guys can do in LinkedIn is, if you want to know any CEO more, you can go to the CEO's LinkedIn. You find the CEO's educational background, and the working experience, what's his skills, how many friends he has. So they have also, so that's the information. That's the information you can get actually from the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, the good thing is you can get how many friends the person has. And also not just for CEOs, you can get any employees, their education, working experience, friends, managers. So basically, you can get every business managers, business CEOs regarding high level, low level. You can get the employee information. So why do you need the employee information? One example is, if the CEO has really good educational background, working experience, that firm will do well, right? That's one very simple example. You can use the data. At the same time, if you can find a firm is hiring like great employees. So for example, if they hire you guys, I feel that's a great hiring. If they hire you guys, that means they hire very talented people. If that's the case, I will see the firm will doing well in the future. The human capital, if they have accumulated a human capital, and managers as well. If they hire great managers, the firm will do well. So basically, what LinkedIn can do is LinkedIn can help you to measure the company's human capital. It's about how strong is the CEO, how strong is the middle level managers, how strong is the employees, rank and file employees. So LinkedIn data can help you manage the human capital of the firm by looking at their past education, working experience, how many friends they have a lot of friends, their network. So does the CEO has a lot of network? Do you have a lot of network on the LinkedIn? So these are the information you can use to predict the firm future performance. You can use the news, you can use the information to help managers, to tell managers, well, your competitors is recruiting a lot of talented people. I think as a CEO, you should consider. So by monitoring other companies' recruiting information, you can help your managers to make a right human resource choices. So the data can be used for a lot of stuff, right? Once you get the CEO background and employee background, manager background, you can calculate a firm's human capital. You can also you can also advise your corporate managers about how your competitors are kind of recruiting talents. So these are the information. And also, you can also find information about founder managers, about analysts. So later we'll talk about, you can find the founder managers, what background that they have. If the founder manager have taken, for example, taking some textual analysis class, taking some AI class, machine learning class, the founder manager may working very well, right? Analyst as well, stock analyst. If the stock analyst, they have the team to support his analysis, and the analyst may doing very well. So also you can get all these managers, founder managers, and the stock analysts information. Once you get information, you can understand why the company is doing well, why the founder manager is doing well. So basically, by understanding the founder manager background, by understanding the skill sets of the stock analyst, you can use that information to predict the fund performance. You can use that to predict the stock analyst forecast accuracy. So this is the information about LinkedIn. You can get information about the corporate CEOs. You can get information about employees, managers, middle-level managers. That's what you can get. You can use that to help predict firm performance. And you can also get information about founder managers, stock analysts. You can use that to predict fund performance and analyst accuracy. So that's about the two social media website. This last one I want to talk about is the Kickstart. What's Kickstart about? Kickstart, it's about, so let's say the famous is the I'm not a game player. You guys may be a game player. So there's a team. They want to develop the a video game. They want to do video game, but they don't have the money. They don't have the money to do that. So what the team is doing is they post their plan on the Kickstarter, talking about this is the video game our team will develop. The video game is about blah blah blah. What's the characters? What's the plots? So they kind of describe a future product they want to develop. And they ask for fundraising. So if you are interested, you can fund me. You can fund the team. If you become the founder, and if the project is finished, if the video goal is completed, the founder can be compensated by ownership, and the use of the video game. So for example, if you donate $100 to fund the video game development, and once the video game is done, you will be the first couple of people who can play the video game for free. Yeah. So this is kind of example on the stock Kickstarter. So basically the idea here is for some team or individual, they want to start a project, but they don't have the money to do so. They describe their project on a Kickstarter. They describe project in details way. They ask people who are interested to fund them. Once the product is done, the funders will be compensated by the either free use of the product or some ownership of the product. This deal. The deal is in a contract. That's the arrangement. So for example, you guys want to short a movie. When I was young, I really want to I want to shoot a movie. Even now I want to show the movie too, but I don't have, let's say that I don't have the money for the movie. That's actually, that's a fact. That's not a hypothetical thing. I don't have the money to shoot a movie. So what I can do, I can describe the my idea of the movie, the plot of the movie, who I want to invite for the movie, and you guys like it, you guys fund me. You guys found me. Once you found me, if I have enough fund to shoot the movie, what I have is you can watch the movie for free. If you donate a lot, you may have the ownership of the movie. So this is how the arrangement is done, right? Arrangement is done. So this is anyone can post their ideas and the product on the Kickstart, and you can ask people who are interested to fund you. And once you're done, you compensate the funders, and you get the funds to develop the project. So what you can do? What you can do? Use this Kickstarter. What you can do is the Kickstarter. You can use that to analyze who actually can be successful in that in a Kickstarter. So you can see, can I actually raise the money by proposing the movie idea, or someone else? Let's say Duan did a better job than me. Duan sell his movie or her movie idea, and people just like Duan's idea, not my idea. So you can analyze a lot of success and failure using the data. Who actually can success in the platforms, who failed in the platform, and who can actually get enough money, and who can actually finish the product. So you can analyze a lot of interesting questions using the website. And why that question is important? Because think about it. So let's say if I want to give my money to a movie on the Kickstart, I want to make sure who can actually deliver a movie. I don't want to. I found the person, and the person get the money, and they produce nothing. They produce nothing. I want to identify the person who when the person is funded, the person can actually promise what he promised on the website, can finish his promise and deliver the movie he proposed. I want to identify the project team who can actually deliver what they proposed. As a person, as a funders, as a backer, they call it backer. As a backer, I want to know which project I can fund, which project I should choose. As a backer, that's my mindset. As a project manager, my mindset is, how should I attract more backers to fund me? How should I make more people to donate more resource to me? So you can see, you can help different people on this platform. You can help project managers to make the proposal more attractive to backers, so backers can fund them. And you can also help backers to screen the project managers. Backers can know which project they should fund, which project will be finished successfully, which project will be just a joke, will be like a no deal. So you can help both project managers to give better description of the project. You can also help backers to choose which projects they can choose, which projects will deliver real product. So by analyze this information, you can help both product managers and backers who want to fund these products. So this is about the different this is about different platform and data set. We talk about tutors. We talk about stock tweets. We talk about linking. We talk about Kickstarts. Like I said, 3 objectives. What's this data about? What's the structure of the data? That's objective 1. Objective 2, how to use the data to help specific business questions, help investors, help managers, what techniques you can use, what textual techniques you can use. These are 3 objectives we keep talking in the class. And this is not exclusive list. You can have other social media platform we have WeChat, right? We have Instagrams. I don't talk about Instagrams in the class because I feel Instagrams is about a lot of information is about a party, is about traveling. It's too much about traveling, right? It's less about the business. We want to talk about the social media that is more related to business. So Instagrams, you guys can use that, but you can get some business information from Instagrams, but still this we want this. So what I'm saying is there's a huge other social media platforms out there you guys can check out. I just want to give you several examples here. You guys can get idea what's the structure of the data, how to use the data to help investors and the managers. So this is the social media. Let's give an example. So let's use the example Twitter example. So the tutor to help the paper is to help both managers and the investors. So I will explain what's the example about. So basically, how to use the tutor data to help managers to help investors. Okay, to help managers to help investors. We want to use the tutor data to help the managers decisions, help investor decisions in a project, negative peer disclosure. So this is one example. I want to talk about how to use the tutor. So let's look at the example, the same example we talked about earlier. So how do we use this example, this data to help investors, to help managers? This is the question. How do we use this data to help managers, to help investors? So let's just a little bit recap about the example. So the example is what? Example is about Dropbox has some product issue, and the competitor GlobalScape tweet on GlobalScape Twitter saying, "Oh, Dropbox and Box products not good." So basically, the GlobalScape want to tweet about the other company's product information on its own company's website, Twitter account. So this is about the information. So basically, so what I say something about other people's bad things on my website. So basically, someone say something bad about other people on the website. In this case, GlobalScape say something bad about the Dropbox. About Dropbox product issues. So how we use these? How we use these data to help managers, to help investors? First, for investors, what you can do is, if this GlobalScape, by saying other companies' bad things, by saying competitors' bad things, if the stock price can rise, that's a help investors, right? That means, okay, then as an investor, I know, oh, if the company is doing that, if the company is saying some other companies complaints about other companies' product, as an investor, I want to know why GlobalScape want to do that. And I also want to know, does that mean I should invest in GlobalScape? So for investors, you can answer the two questions. What we found here is when GlobalScape talking about Dropbox product security issue, the GlobalScape, they don't have the same issue. That's why they talk about other companies' issues. So for example here, if I can say that Duan, I say Duan, your project one did well. So if on my tweet I say, Duan, your project no good, project one you didn't do good. If I post on a website, that signals what? That signals actually my project one was doing very well. So this is basically by saying the competitors' weakness, their signal, the company's strength. That's what we discovered. That's help investors. If the investors know that the GlobalScape is talking about the Dropbox product security issue, through our data analytics, we are telling investors the global scape do not have the same security issue, product security issue. So that's one thing you can help investors. And the second thing you can help investors, the global scape stock price rises after they do that. So the investors can actually get a stock return from by studying the global scape posting of other companies' product failure news. So basically, you help investors for two things. One is by analyzing all the news here, you tell investors when global scape talking about other companies' weakness, the global scape is signal its own strength of the product. That's first thing you tell investors. Investors can learn from your data analytics. The second thing you tell investors to learn from data analytics is you can tell investors once global scape is talking about other companies' weakness, their stock price rise, and you can invest, and you can do that. You can get a stock return from that. So investors can benefit two things from the data analytics of this news data, Twitter news data, by understanding the stock global scape strength and get stock returns. So how does this data analytics to help managers? To help managers is if global scape if global scape can talk about other firms' weakness, the global scape can gain stock return and gain and signal its own product strength. Other companies may follow global scape. So basically, by analyzing the global scape news like this, you are kind of help other corporate managers, tell them should they follow what global scape is doing, or they should avoid what global scape is doing. So here, by analyzing huge data set of the Twitter, all the companies' Twitter, we're kind of telling corporate managers this is a good way to signal your product strength. By talking about other companies' product weakness, you are actually signal your own product strength. So let me repeat it one more time. By analyzing the stock, by analyzing the tweets like this, Twitter information like this, you're advising other corporate managers, telling them if you can talk about other companies, if you talk about other companies' product weakness, you actually signal your own product strengths. So you are telling advise other companies they can follow what the global scape and what they're doing. So this is about how you help managers, how you help investors. So let's look at the some information, some data analytics we have done. Some data analytics we have done in order to understand the full structure of the story. So you see that stock return rises. So when the global scape talking about the Dropbox bad things, their own stock price rises. So like I said, you can help investors to realize the return. So if on day one, if the investors know that the stock price, if on day one, if the investors know global scape is tweets about Dropbox bad things, they can buy and hold one day. They buy and hold one day. They can get the stock return from the buy and hold, and get the premium stock returns by buying global scape. So that's about the stock returns. And also we also examining what kind of company should do this, what kind of company are doing this such a thing. So we found that if the two companies, they have a similar product, they are more likely to do this. So for example, when the global scape and Dropbox, their product are very similar, they are more likely to post the competitors' product weakness to signal their strengths. That's what we found. And we also found technologies similarity. So if the global scape and the Dropbox, their technology, their patents are very similar to each other, we also found the company are also more likely to post their competitors the product weakness. So weakness. So what in summary here, we want to see what kind of things drives managers to post competitors product weakness. So what I found is, if the two competitors, they have very similar products, they will more likely to do so. If the two companies, they have a similar technology, similar patents, they are more likely to do so. So this is what drives managers to actually post the competitors' product weakness. That's the drivers for managers, corporate managers, to do so. So let me just summary. Let me just summary. What's the example about? So we analyze the tutor information to answer two big questions. First questions: why managers want to post their competitors' product weakness? Why want to do so? We found several conclusions. The first conclusion is, when they have a similar product, they want to do so. When they have similar technology, they want to do so. And if they want to signal their product strength, they want to do so. And that's the three reasons we explain why managers want to post other competitors' product weakness. They want to, when they have this product similarity, when they have the technology similarity, when they want to signal they don't have the same product issue, when they want to signal their product's strength. And what's the consequence of this? The consequence of this is we see the stock price rises. So basically, when someone talking about other people's bad things, it's actually the stock price rises for the person, for the talking person. So in our case, when the global scape talking about job box product weakness, the stock price rises for global scape. So that's the very brief summary how we use the data to. That's the summary how we use the data to analyze the Twitter news. How we analyze when one company talking about other companies' product weakness. We want to answer several questions. Why they want to do so? Why the managers want to talk about other companies' product weakness? We answer why part, and we answer what's the consequence. We answer that the consequence is there will be a stock price appreciation for global scape who talking about product weakness of the job box. That's the consequence part. So this is basically we use the data analytics textual data to answer why part and so what and the consequence part. And then how does this and analytics help investors? Like I said, you help investors to understand, should they invest in the company or not? You help to investors to understand when the global scape talking about this disclosed news, global scape do not have the same product issue. This is we help investors to understand the information about global scape. And also we provide information to other corporate managers. Should they follow this strategy or not follow this strategy of talking about other people's product weakness? So so this is basically about use the Twitter to analyze this, Basically, we first answer why part, why managers do so, and also we answer consequence part. And then we also we summarize by answering why part and the consequence part. How does that help investors? We said it helps investors because investors can understand the market reaction, understand the product strengths of the global scape. And it also help other corporate managers follow or not to follow. So this is how the example we talk about talking about Twitter. We use the Twitter to analyze the information to help investors, to help managers to understand the why part, to understand the consequence parts. And we see the positive market reaction. We see that when the global scape talking about the Dropbox product weakness, there's actually a positive market reaction to the scope to the global scape, global scape. And we also talking about the global scape is signal their own product strength when they do so. So again, like I said, I don't want you guys think. I want you guys to think about your own ideas using this data, but but the whole structure for every session, the whole structure, like I we're talking about here, is what's the nature of the data. We talk about the Twitter example. You can get the Twitter information. You can get the comments. You can get the replies. You can get likes. You can get the you can get the posting company is global scape. You can get the tweets about Dropbox product weakness. So you can know the structure of the data and the contents of the data about the tweets. And you can see the applications. I use the data answer what question. I use the data to answer how to help investors, to help managers. I answer why managers do that. What's the consequence of do that? I answer that. And then in the following presentations, you can see what's the techniques we used to answer these questions. So to summarize, for every platform, every textual data we do this is we have the three objectives. What's the data about? Structure of the data, and what kind of questions we can answer to help investors, to help managers, and how exactly we do the research design to do that. So this is the about tweets. This is about we talk about the tweets. We talk about Twitters. We talk about stock tweets. We talk about LinkedIn. We talk about Kickstarts. We talk about so many social media. You can looking for other social media platform. You can also we talk about the example that one company talking about the bad things about other company. That's just one example. You guys can explore other examples. You guys can explore other questions, and also you guys can explore other social media platforms. So my question, my point here is, you don't have to focus on the applications we talk about the class. You can think about other ways to use this data. You can also looking at about other social media like WeChat or other Instagram, like other stuff we have not talking about in class. You can explore more social media data to help investors, to help managers. So that's yeah, I want to open up to